My name is Stacey Washington,
And I'm Chenille Williams.
and we're with the South Carolina Energy Office. Today we'll be doing a lesson with you called Circuits 4 Ways. In this lesson, our objectives are to create a circuit, talk about parallel and series circuits, conductors and insulators. We'll be doing this in 4 different ways. These are just 4 different ways that you can teach or learn about circuits. The first way is using the Squishy Circuits kit. So you can buy a kit that has conductive and insulating dough and materials to use to make circuits. You can also build your own dough, conductive dough and insulating dough. We'll make that today and do the same thing. You also can do scrappy circuits using different materials such as binder clips and cardboard and paper clips to make circuits or batteries for the circuits. And then also a human conductor with an energy stick. So let's get into the lesson. The circuits we'll be making today will be just a simple circuit that is one loop with a load in the middle, which will be an LED light. There'll be a conductive material in between, and then there'll be a battery as the power source. So this is just a little diagram of what we'll be doing with the Squishy Circuits. So let's get into a little bit of information about how to make the dough. In the Squishy Circuits kit, the dough is already made, but you can also make your own dough. So depending on your price point, you can make the dough, you can buy a kit, or you can do scrappy circuits. So the kind of in-between price point is making your own dough. So I've already made conductive dough. This dough takes 1 cup of water, just regular tap water, 1.5 cups flour, 1/4 cup salt, which is part of why it's conductive. You use iodized salt, 3 tablespoons cream of tartar, and then 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil food coloring, which is optional. But today we've done purple, and you use the white cake mix recipe on the box. So today we're going to make insulating dough. Insulating dough takes 1.5 cups flour. So I have all the dry ingredients in here in this bowl. 1.5 cups flour and 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of granulated alum are in this bowl. The granulated alum is supposed to help it have some antibacterial properties. So if this dough is used amongst a lot of people for an event or in the classroom, it'll help make it so people don't get sick as much from using the dough. So I'm going to mix up the dry ingredients here. We'll also add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 1.5 cup of distilled water. You can also use deionized water. So this is the insulating dough. That's why we're using distilled water, so we don't have those conductive properties in there. All right, so let's add in the vegetable oil. So 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. One, 2, 3. All right. And then we'll add in a little bit of water as we go. And then as it starts getting to be dough-like, we'll put it out on this surface so we can knead the dough. And we just add water. It says 1.5 cup water, but just add water a little by little until it starts getting to be like dough. So this is something easy you can do in the classroom because it does not take any heat. The conductive dough takes heat, which is why we're not making it in this video, but it's similar to where you mix the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients and then knead the dough. So I'll just add a little bit of water at a time. So once it starts clumping up, we'll turn it out so we can knead it. Don't want to add too much water. Like I say, it can start getting dough like really quickly. Before you know it, it'll be too wet, like this, a little bit. It's a little crumbly. But as you can see, it's getting more and more like dough. So you just keep doing this until you get it the consistency that you want. Voila. All right. Now, let's clear out some space and we can get to our activity. So, like I said, there's many ways you can make dough. If you have the time, you can make the dough. If you have the money, you can buy a kit that already has the dough made. So, but it can be fun for the students to make their own dough. And then you can see why the dough is conductive or insulating. And you have all the salt in the conductive dough, and then in the insulating dough, you have to use that DI water or distilled water, and there's sugar in the insulating dough. Okay, now let's get to the activity. All right, so Chenille will demonstrate the activity as I instruct through the activity. The first thing will be to begin with 2 lumps of conductive dough, and you're going to use the dough we made. Conductive.
Okay. I was pulling it out, and then you talked about the different dough. Confused me.
Okay, and then we have a battery pack that comes with the Squishy Circuits kit. So you'll plug 1 wire of the battery pack into each piece of the dough.
Let's do it this way.
And then you'll bridge that gap with an LED. Now let's turn on the, hey! The next question is, does the light turn on? Yes, but if it didn't, you could turn around the LED, and the reason that's important is because there's a positive and negative side of the LED, and that one side needs to be, the positive side needs to be on the red wire.
Do you want to switch them so people can see what happens?
Yeah, you can switch it out and let's see what happens when it's not going the right way. So as you can see, she switched it out and the light went out. So you just have to make sure that you have it going the right way. Then in the next section, let's see what happens when you put both pieces of dough together. What happens there? Oh, what happened to the light? The light went out. That's called a short circuit. So you need some insulation in there to make sure that the electricity will still flow. So the way to do that is to add the insulating dough.
Here we go.
So that's why you have insulation around wires to make sure that this short circuit doesn't happen. insulating dough not make? Oh no. Let's see.
Oh,
There we go.
there it is.
Ooh, I was about to say, oh, my insulating dough didn't work. So just got to make sure that we have the positive and negative in the right, facing the right way in our, when we do our LED. So that's just a troubleshooting way, you know, whenever something doesn't happen right, you can switch it around. So next in the activity, so we did, the first one we did was a closed circuit. The second thing we did was an open circuit, and then the short circuit. So now we're going to talk about a series circuit. We separated the two pieces. The LED again lit up. The electricity went through the LED to complete the circuit. And that was the sandwich with the insulating dough, and that was a series circuit. So we talked about closed circuits. So the first one was just the regular circuit with the two pieces of dough and the LED. The second was an open circuit where we pulled one of them out. So when you pull out a leg, that makes the circuit open. So like if you have the LED in there and then pull the leg out, that's an open circuit. Then we did where you put the lead back in and put them together and it went out. That was a short circuit. And then the last thing we did was a series circuit. Now we're going to talk about parallel circuits. And we're going to do this with something called a sushi circuit. So we can make some of that with our dough as well. So with the sushi circuit, you'll have a ball of conductive dough in the middle. You'll have the insulating dough in the next layer, and then you'll have another layer of conductive dough. And this will make a parallel circuit, like a sushi, where you have different layers in a circle. And I'll help make some of these.
Okay. Here's our rice layer.
Yeah, the rice is the insulating dough. It's the right color. I'm just trying to get there.
Okay.
And now we can try these circuits again with putting in the different positive and negative lines and then putting in the LED to see if it lights up. Let's see if we need to turn it over.
Switch.
Dun, 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 dun. We let there be light. So now this is just demonstrating a parallel circuit using something we affectionately call the sushi circuit. So this is how you use the Squishy Circuits dough, whether you've made it or you actually use the dough in the kit. Now we're going to talk about the scrappy circuits. The scrappy circuits, let me move to the next. With scrappy circuits, you can make circuits using different scraps you may have around your school or wherever you frequent. So with this one, you make different packs or core bricks out of the different materials. So the materials that you would use are binder clips, about 10 to 11 binder clips, an LED tea light, some cardboard pieces, paper clips, aluminum foil, a glue stick, and then you can use an emery board. So all of these materials can be found out and about as you go. The tea lights can be found for $1 for a pack of 2 at like a dollar store. So today we're just going to talk about the battery pack and the LED to demonstrate. So you take an LED tea light and you can unscrew the screw, take out the battery and the LED. from the tea light. And then you cut up the different pieces of cardboard, and then you take the binder clips and clip on the battery, and you face it in the positive or negative side, and then you label it on the cardboard so you can know which side is positive and negative. The battery has that on it. And then for the LED, you take the LED out. You can add some aluminum foil to make it more conductive. You can take the emery board and scratch the paint off of the binder clip, and then you put it on here, and you label the positive and negative side. So interesting thing with the LED, you can hold it up, and you can tell which side is positive and negative. If you hold it up to the light, the one side looks like an upside down L or like a 7 backwards, and one side is going straight up. The upside down L side is the negative side, and the straight up side is the positive side. So just mark your cardboard that way. And then you can also make other bricks within squishy circuits. There's a clip, a push, and a dial. And the dial, you can turn the clip, I believe you do it like this, and then there's a push that you can add into the circuits. But today we're just going to do the battery and LED. So once you create your different bricks, you can put them together to create a circuit. So you can do that. You can either make your own conductive lines with paper clips and aluminum foil, or you can use these alligator clips. They're similar to what you would use to jump a car. It's like little jumper cables. And you attach the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. We also tried it with conductive dough, but it was not as strong. So here we'll attach the negative side to the negative side. And the positive to the positive. Let's see if it lights up. 1, 2, 3, yay! It lights up. So this is just another way to do circuits. You can either make your own dough, you can buy a squishy dough kit, you can do scrappy circuits, and then finally we have an energy stick. So I have some students here that are going to come and help us with demonstrating the energy stick. Oops. This is an energy stick. You can buy it for anywhere at local retailers, Amazon, or on the website for energy or science items. And so we're going to demonstrate a circuit with ourselves. So being a human conductor, and we're going to demonstrate. But everybody hold hands. And then we are going to this is an open circuit with it open. And then we're going to 1, 2, 3, closed circuit, and it lights up. So this just shows closed circuit, open circuit, as we talked about in the dough. So thank you all. This is the squishy circuits lesson and 4 ways to teach circuits, and they can be found on the Energy Office website at energy.sc.gov/energy lesson plans. Thank you for spending time with us.